What would you do if someone offered you $10,000 to do whatever it takes to overcome your social anxiety? Could you do it? Would you even know where to start? I decided to find out. Somewhere in this courtyard right now, there's somebody from Saskatoon, Canada. You need to find them and meet them.
Okay.
This is Melinda. She laughs when she's anxious. And that's the thing. She's always anxious.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, Mark, let's go. You're on
Now
your own.
I'm on my own? Oh, shit.
Melinda has struggled with social anxiety all of her life.
It just feels like an overwhelming buildup of emotion and feeling completely out of control of my circumstance.
Nothing she has ever tried has worked.
I've tried therapy, medication, many other different things, and I'm still just anxious.
I've been working with people and writing about anxiety for the past 15 years. So when Melinda came to me for help, I decided to try something completely unconventional. I came up with 5 social challenges that will take Melinda across Southern California over 2 weeks. These 5 challenges embody the 5 principles to overcoming social anxiety. By learning and practicing these principles, anyone can overcome their fear of socializing, no matter how deep-rooted it is. The catch is that these challenges are totally awkward and uncomfortable, especially for someone like Melinda. And that's why, to make sure she actually does them,
If you complete the entire scavenger hunt, you'll get $10,000.
Holy shit, what?
but first, she needs to find this guy from Saskatoon.
Dude, I think we're gonna be here for a while. She's nervous. She's very nervous.
The point of the first challenge is simple. Desensitization. Get outside, talk to some strangers, realize the awkwardness is not going to kill you.
She's gotta stop thinking about it and just pull the trigger. This is gonna take forever. Oh shit, I think she's going. No, chickened out. Oh, she's doing it. She's doing it.
Are you from Saskatoon, Canada?
I'm not.
Okay, sorry, you look like someone I knew like years ago from there, so yeah. Never mind. Thank you, never mind.
One down, like 30 more to go.
You look so familiar. Yeah, are you from Saskatoon by chance, Canada? I was on a trip there years ago and like ran into someone who looked exactly like you. I was like, is that the same person? Sorry about that.
Is she on her phone? Oh my God. Who are you talking to?
It's making me feel bad.
Talking to nobody.
Are you from Saskatoon, Canada?
Yeah.
Okay. Iran? Oh, Iran, yes. Sorry about that. It's so nice to meet you. Are you guys from Saskatoon by chance? Like Canada? Okay.
Oh shit, she's walking towards him. She's walking towards him.
I'm so sorry, dude. I feel like are you from Saskatoon, Canada?
Yes, I am.
Are you?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
You did it.
I was like, please let this be the first.
The cure to anxiety is not courage, but curiosity. When you train yourself to be curious about others and new activities, you remove the constant focus away from yourself, and you create opportunities to learn about others.
We're gonna make challah today, so come on in.
When we get anxious, we tend to kind of start word vomiting.
I'm aware.
Start at like level 2 or 4.
I did level 4. I did level 4.
Throughout the day, Melinda and I spent hours with various instructors.
Oh no.
And as time went on, she slowly got better at asking them questions about themselves and their craft.
What's your favorite thing to bake? Do you do other kinds of art? Do you know the name of the one in Hawaii?
The more questions she asked, the more you could see her taking the pressure off of herself.
Do you ever watch The Great British Bake Off? So how do you keep it moist? How many layers are in a croissant? How long does it take you to make a bowl? And so how big is that gonna get? What am I even afraid of?
And as Melinda found out, the more you focus on someone else, the quicker you find common ground with that person.
I have a lot of anxiety and find that it's really helpful to be tactile and have muscle memory. Feels really good and safe.
It's very grounded. You feel like, okay, like this is something that I can focus on and not be so in your head. Yeah.
How did that feel?
Because you prompted me to ask questions, I was just listening more and I was like, okay, what else can I say about this or ask about this?
Yeah.
But then I found after a while that I wasn't thinking so much about like what to ask.
If the first challenge got Melinda to talk to strangers, the second showed her that those strangers weren't so different from her. They too were anxious and self-conscious. And in many cases, they fell in love with their craft because it saved them from their demons.
Literally, before I did my yoga teacher training, my biggest fear was public speaking.
Oh yeah?
And it helped me so much.
This realization would eventually be profound for Melinda. With 2 challenges down, she was on her way to that $10,000 reward. But first, she would have to confront some public embarrassment and revisit a childhood experience that's haunted her entire life.
That my best friend, she a real bad got her own money. She don't need no on the dance floor. She had 2-3 drinks, now she twerking. She throw it out and come back in.
Most people who struggle with social anxiety have some deeply painful event in their past. As a result, they spend their lives associating strangers with fear, pain, and ridicule.
I had an event where a girl threw up on me on a school bus, and that triggered this huge, years and years long, like I was diagnosed with obsessive compulsive disorder that morphed into like eating disorders and all kinds of other stuff that is like manifested in different ways throughout my life.
It might sound simple, but a huge part of overcoming social anxiety is rewiring that association. Showing her that strangers don't have to be scary, they can be fun. We want to make signs offering free hugs to people.
Okay. You know, I can write, but the art is another whole other thing.
How anxious are you feeling?
I've been like weirdly bodily anxious today. I felt a lot of just sort of like body anxieties, like fast heartbeat and just like feeling nervous.
I mean, I feel that a little bit too.
Yeah.
Because this is not a normal thing to do.
Yes.
This was the first moment that I noticed a shift in Melinda. Before, she approached every social activity with dread. But as we made the sign for free hugs, I noticed that despite being nervous, she saw the challenge as an adventure and not something to simply suffer through.
I'm just starting to see things as instead of opportunities for something to go wrong, it's an opportunity to have a fun and meaningful and rewarding experience. My pad is too
Oh my god.
Hold on.
That my best friend, she a real bad got her own money. She don't need no on the dance floor. She had 2-3 drinks, now she twerking. She throw it out and come back in.
That's my best friend. She a real bad, drive her own car. She don't need no lift in a strip club. No, my girl gon' tip. Now she twerking, she throw it out and come back in. She been down since the jellies and the bobos. Now me stepping out the Jeep and my nut-lows. When we pull up to the scene, they be filled with jealousy. If a finicky, she gon' bring the energy.
That was actually really fun. I was nervous as we were walking just because like a lot of people were looking at us. But once we started getting hugs from people, it was really nice.
It's just good vibes.
Yeah.
Isn't it one of those things that you feel stupid for being nervous about?
Yes.
Like, you're just like, wow, people are
Yes,
cool.
definitely.
Like, it's fun.
I've not laughed so hard, and like just how happy it made people.
I know.
It's just amazing. As we talked in the car afterward, Melinda's entire demeanor had changed. There was a joy that had never been there before. Instead of talking of her anxiety in terms of suffering, she was talking about it in terms of excitement and humor. And what most people don't get is that this is what getting over anxiety actually looks like. It's not getting rid of the anxiety, it's learning to play with it. She seemed to be getting it. But if she was going to complete the last 2 challenges and win the $10,000, I knew that Melinda wouldn't be laughing for very long. There's a beautiful concept in social psychology that I call the going first principle. It's simple. When 2 people are talking, whatever one person is willing to express or disclose about themselves, the other will then feel free to express or disclose in return. It's this disclosure that then creates a sense of friendship and intimacy. For people with social anxiety like Melinda, they often spend their entire lives waiting for other people to go first, to give them permission to express the things that they think and feel. For this next challenge, I put Melinda in a room with strangers, and through prompts written on note cards, forced her to go first with them.
Oh man. If you could magically fix one relationship in your life, who would it be and why? Oh my gosh.
At first, Melinda struggled with this exercise and spent most of her time agreeing with whatever was said to her. But then she sat down with Rick.
Hi.
Hi.
And after a little initial small talk, she finally took the leap and went first. And something incredible happened.
I wouldn't say that I was addicted to alcohol in any way, but I heavily relied on it, and it was this sort of thorn in my side for most of my adult life where I felt like I couldn't function socially without it at all. And so I think I quit like a year and a half ago almost. And yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, it was a big deal for me, and out of that came so much emotion, just like because it was all there. Like I had nothing to numb it with at all anymore. I was just dulling that down, like, whacking it with a hammer, like whack-a-mole for years. It's a very strange feeling to actually feel like you're alone with yourself always, and with no numbing. What about you?
That's like, it's a far longer conversation. We probably have time for it. Totally. But the bottom line is, I have a history of drug addiction. I have a history of homelessness. I have a history of trauma, emotional trauma. But I'm also a parent. I'm a dog lover, I'm an animal lover. I have both sides of that spectrum of light and dark, like swimming around inside of me, And from my experience, it's good to be heard. It's good to be seen because you feel invisible.
Yeah, all the time.
And just real simple, like conversation can really do a lot. It really can do a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that went there.
That's incredible. Thank you for sharing that.
Thanks for asking.
Yeah, that's really a vulnerable thing and just really powerful to hear that.
For the final challenge, and for $10,000, I surprised Melinda with something that just 2 weeks ago, she never would have imagined herself capable of doing.
What's up, guys?
What's up? Fancy seeing you here.
How are you?
Good, how are
Good to see you.
Looking back over our time together, I felt that she was ready. I think she felt it too.
Whew.
So you just spent about 2 hours revealing every detail of your life.
Every detail of my private life. What changed in this whole experiment for me is, in my mind, I always equated being social with just fear and dread, and I always saw it as a test. It was always, am I saying the right thing? What's the right thing to say here? And it's all about me. I didn't see it as an opportunity to give someone the gift to share their story and to share, who they are.
If you had to guess what's happening.
I have guessed so many things. I was thinking like a weird, like speed dating type of thing where I'm like talking to random people around like some kind of a restaurant or some kind of buffet event, karaoke.
When we started this, you were visibly like, and as we've gone along, you can see visually watching it, you have relaxed so much. You're having fun.
Yeah.
Come on. We made it! welcome to your final challenge.
Okay.
Your challenge. We have a room full of people.
Yes, I know. I know a lot of them. Yes.
Your final challenge. I want you to give us all a brief history of your anxiety, past, present, and future.
Wow. Okay.
So whenever you're ready, lean up to the mic.
This is not anything that I expected. So thank you all for being here and hearing a brief history of my anxious past, present, and future. I said something recently about how I came out of the womb anxious. There's this amazing classic picture of me at an airport. I look so upset. And that's basically like been me ever since I can remember. I was like diagnosed with obsessive compulsive disorder in 5th grade, put on Paxil, Prozac, every like medication under the sun. And then that morphed into an eating disorder in 6th through college. And then that morphed into heavy binge drinking to deal with just being around people. Without alcohol, it's really brought into the forefront how much I use that as a crutch to deal with this crippling anxiety.
How confident do you feel about returning back to your regular life?
I feel very confident in doing it because I've seen that I can do it. If I'm approaching a social situation and feeling anxious about something, I know what perspective to come at it from. Here's the goal, curiosity. That's your only intention for this. Like nothing else matters. I feel like there's a couple of things that are different about this time. I feel like I've tried to get help in the past, but this time I actually really want it. And I didn't before because my fear was stronger than that curiosity and like wanting something better for myself. Working with Mark in this whole experience, he's basically helped me to shift that lens from people are scary and like I should be fearful to coming at social interactions through a lens of curiosity. Every social interaction up until recently has been just kind of like, how do I get through this as fast as possible? It's ruined every relationship I've ever had. And I want to keep this one. That has been a big motivator for me to get over this. And in doing that, it's been, I realized, hey, this isn't just good for us, it's good for me. One of the biggest lessons I've learned is that we can't do anything on our own. And everything that we have in life is a result of other people, like every single thing. That's something that took me way too long to learn. And I'm just really grateful that I know that now. I'm grateful for every single person who has been there for me. And that's all I'll say. I have no words, like that was not at all what I expected.
Since this is a YouTube show and everything, I went to a printer and got a big fucking check.
Seeing people who I care about who came out to this, knowing that there are other people who feel like this and maybe they see that there's a way out of it, and if you just like keep working at it, that it can change. Yeah. And your perspective can change, I think is what the most important thing is. Like to me, like I want people to know that your perspective can change. Yeah.